to look at their system and they are going to look at what actually will work for them. So as far as this one is concerned, we actually look at the way by are they actually retire them or they voluntarily resign. So we heard from the chairman of the CBN, I mean the CBN governor, Kaduso, that said that these particular people, they actually resign voluntarily. So that there is nothing like they affected them or they retire them just anyhow. There could be some factors responsible for them to resign, because when we look at the CBN, anybody that works in CBN, so it is a belief that yes, you have a very good job. So now for you to resign from that particular job, definitely there are some factors that actually comes to play.
What are the factors to be considered before taking voluntary retirement from government service?
You see, let me start from this angle. Definitely, it is no more in news that yes, the CBN governor is, I mean, the former CBN governor is undergoing trial currently, and you know what that means, because they have actually discovered that this man siphoned a lot of money. So, when you look at some houses, I mean, they collected from him some, I mean, about 770 something, houses. So, and there are directors in the CBN that also collided, I mean, with this particular man, which led to their sack some recent, time ago, whereby about 50 of, some of the directors were sacked, having a kind of relationship with the former CBN governor. And one of the factors could be that perhaps after that particular retrenchment, the CBN discovered that there should be a kind of an holistic sanitizations of that particular system if they actually want to move forward. And the first thing is that when they actually want to re-strategize or restructuring the system, they have to look at the way by which the loopholes that people actually make use of in order to get to siphon the money. So, and that particular thing could be a kind of a fear to the employees who they believe that if they continue with this particular process, possibly they might likely to be affected as well. So that could be one of the reasons why a CBN employee or a staff could decided to exit voluntarily. And you see what the CBN, governors did. They gave them a kind of an opportunity to resign. So that yes, they want to sanitize. Landing. Yes, for a soft landing. They actually wanted to restructure the system. But before the restructuring, they told them that yes, there's no problem. We are not ready to lay anybody off as far as you can key into this particular system. So one of the factors still remains that yes, some people may believe that yes, if they want to continue with this particular restructuring, they will be affected in one way or the other. So they decide, because they have the information as well, that the way things are going, so if you did not save your face, so definitely you are going to find yourself, where you might not even, wanted to be. So that could be the number one. Number two, you see, they gave them the full package, that if they resign, they are going to give them the full benefit of a star. They are going to give them a full benefit that even cost them about 50 billion. That is huge. That is huge amount of money. Some people might decide that at least if I get this particular money, it's enough for me to continue with my life. So at least I could be able to set up myself with this particular amount of money. So there are some of them that they could be, in that aspect as well as one of the factors that might lead to the resignation, voluntary resignation from the government job. So the third could be as a result of, you see, I've said that already. Perhaps they have a kind of a cordial relationship with those people that they have problem with the government. Yes, when they know that, yes, I have issues with them, that my hands are not clean. My hands are not clean. And if I continue like this, so I may also end up forfeiting everything. So they decided to resign voluntarily. And the third one is that perhaps maybe if they discover that the government, or I mean the team of the, what is it called, the board of directors, perhaps they are not in good consonance with them. So when you are working and you are not having a kind of rest of mind, so why will you just continue? But maybe you are not happy with what you are doing. Yes, so definitely you might decide to resign voluntarily, and you have the opportunity. They say this is a free exit resignation with full package. So why do you now want to continue? Doing something that you are not happy doing. So that is another thing entirely. And another factor that could be, because I heard that there are some of them that they have not been moving forward for several years. Yes. Perhaps maybe they are not giving them the normal upgrading or the normal promotions that they deserve. So, and they see this as an opportunity that for the exit. So, and they have other things they could do as well. So that could be also a reason for that as well. But to me, I have to see it as is a very good development for our nations, because I'm very sure, I didn't know, maybe you've had several days where they are going to say that the recruitment of the CBN is opened. It's not usually opened. So it is, to me, I see it as a way by which the politicians used to set with their colleagues, possibly. Because you hardly have it on the newspaper that the CBN actually wanted to look. And every day, people are getting jobs in CBN. So how do they do that? So for the fact that these people are, getting out of the system, so we can say it's a very good development to the system as well.
What is the role of voluntary retirement for government circle or government service? What can be the rule of voluntary retirement?
Yes, the rule that can be the voluntary retirement for a service is for a government service is that anybody that is at the ends of affairs, that is the directors, or let me say those people that are in charge, perhaps the head of that particular institutions, could give out, could roll out the rules for them. Perhaps if you actually wanted to leave, there is opportunity for you to leave for these reasons and these reasons. So if they gave them all those opportunities and they meet up with those rules, there's nothing bad in leaving the service. So far they are not living on their own. It is that particular team, it is the management team that give them the opportunity to leave for the fact that they are going to get their full package benefits. So they don't sack them, they don't retrench them, they don't ask them to go home without giving them what they deserve.
The voluntary staff, can they go to any other ministry or department or agencies to get an employee?
Yes, it is allowed. It is allowed. So
apart from CBN.
Apart from CBN. Because if they discover that, yes, I'm working in one parastatals, I'm not comfortable with that, I can resign there as far as my resignation is official. And it follows the laid down rules. That it is not that I just left, I did not committed any crime. Do you get what I'm saying now? So I left honorably. So there is nothing stop me from getting another job. It's just like when you are shifting from one organization to another organization, from one institution to another institution. That is just it. I can leave the MBS, Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, and go to CBN. I can leave the CBN, and as far as I have a very good record that shows that yes, I'm a good person. At least I did my job.
Is there any implication to economy of the country?
Yes, there are implications to the economy of the country because these people that are living, we should be able to know that yes, they are living for good.
Okay.
Because if they are living without having a kind of a good plan, they may also constitute to the level of poverty we have in the nations. So if they have a very good, that is why the voluntary retirement or voluntary resignations, the CBN as a whole has to conduct a kind of a workshop or a kind of a training for them, that these particular people that are living, for the fact that they are getting their own benefits, how to make use of the money, for something good, that they will not also go back to the system again to go and constitute nuisance to the society as well. Because those people, you could see some of them that they will just get the money. You see them in beer parlors, you see them in several places taking ladies here and there just to make sure they have the money, they enjoy the money. Before you see it, everything go, and they will also become part of the alarming or the high rate of unemployment that we have in the nations. So it is very, very good from the fact that from the CBN, if they could have a kind of an orientations for them to make use of the money they get judiciously and make sure that they track them, possibly to know that they are doing well as well, if there is possible for that.
Okay, what advice would you have for the employee or the employer in the country?
Yes, the employer, because the reason why I still have some factors to also talk about, because I said something the other time that giving these particular people to leave or giving them a kind of a voluntary resignations, I hope that they are not witch hunting them, because how are they going to recruit another set of people to the system? Are they not going to be doing the same thing they used to do before? Because what we learned from what the CBN activities was that they don't usually advertise for people. They don't get the capable ends of people to make sure that yes, these are the set of people that are supposed to be there. So are they not going to do the same things they used to do before? Are they not finding it as a means of expunging these particular people from the system so they can bring in their own system? To the what? Their own people to the system. So that is that. We just have to make sure that we consider that as well. So it shouldn't be. It should be a kind of an objective. Which they should be objective with whatever they are doing. They should not be subjective. They should not be saying that no, these people they belong to some set of people. Maybe they belong to some politicians. So now it is now our own time to bring our own people in. They should make sure that they do it. They have the interest of the nations at heart. Not the personal interest.
But
not
why
for
are
politics
the Northerners
interest.
saying that it's because they were witch-hunting their people? Because Arewa Youth Council was saying that it's a way of chasing their people out of the system.
You see, that is the problem we have in this part of the world, whereby if anybody does something wrong, so we usually make justifications for it. Perhaps it belongs to, sometimes you may attach it to religion aspects, that why is it Muslims, why is it Christians, why is it this? But you don't, address the issue objectively. You address the issue objectively. This is not the issue that you are witch-hunting them. There are not all of them left. This is a voluntary resignation, and they didn't tell you that you should leave. They are just doing restructuring. What is it called? The first bank did restructuring some times ago. About 100 of their staffs left.
Yes.
Nobody talks. So what are you not talking about? So everybody is looking at the optimization of the operations and how are they going to move forward? And what the CBN said was that we are in the era of digitalization, whereby most of the things we do, manually, we started trying to do it in a digital way. And you know what that means. So if you are not capable enough to fit into that system, there's no how you can fit into the system. So that he does it. He's going to incorporate, he's going to involve two things. He's going to create opportunity as well as going to create redundancy as well. Some people will fit in for the system, while some people will not fit into the system. So if you are good enough, I don't think there's anything you should be scared about. If you are good to fit to the system, this is OSBC for that matter. So if the director or the head of decided to restructure the system, if you are good enough, you are good to go with your job and continue with it. So far you are qualified to do it, just continue to do the work. But if you are not qualified, definitely you will be scared that with the position at which they place me now, how am I going to fit it? So, and the system, they give you an opportunity to exit. What will you do? You exit because you don't want to create a problem. Because you cannot function well. You cannot function well. So that is what I'm saying. The challenges we have before, are they been that there is a fair recruitment for the staffs, whereby undergo several process. They train them, they retrain them. I mean, they make sure that yes, they get the best out of the people. So I think it will be better for the organization rather than using it to settle the politician, because when a name is coming from a senator, a name is coming from the ministers, a name is coming from the president, that yes, this is the president list, this is the governor's list, there's nothing you could do. Even though if the person is not qualified enough to be there, there's nothing you could do. Definitely you are going to absorb that particular to the system, and when you absorb the persons to the system, the person is not doing well, it's affecting the system as a whole. In fact, I learned that the governor said that the CBN is overstaffed. He's overstaffed already. So yes, when you say something, a place is overstaffed, that is the person that's supposed to be there are too much many.
Just roaming about.
Some people who just leave home and go to work. They enter the office, they didn't do anything, and they go back and they collected a huge amount of money at the expense of a lot of people that they could not feed themselves. So the issue I have with this current association, I mean the dispensation, is that they should be fair enough. So because when you are trying to restructure a system, make sure that you do it in an objective way. Do you get it now? And let people have a kind of a courage, or let me say confidence in you, that yes, what you are doing, you are not doing it to winch on anybody, rather you are doing it in order to save the economy as a whole. Definitely, that is just what I have in mind, because if you don't do it having it at the mind that yes, you want to move economy forward, you have another interior motive different from what is normal. Definitely the same mess we are now, we are still going to continue with it.
It's not to win jobs.
Yes,
to save the economy.
Just to save the economy. So definitely it's good for the economy if that is the motive. You see, if that is the motive, because we are dealing with politicians. So definitely there might be things that they make it clear to us, and there might be different things that they have at the back of their mind before they do that. So that is just it. They have to be sincere. They have to be sincere with whatever they are doing. So if there is sincerity with what they are doing, to this I give them a thumb up, because yes, I have never seen it. It has never happened in the history of the Central Bank of Nigeria that staff, I don't know what they are collecting, but I'm very sure that somebody who is working in CBN is not a poor person. Is not an average living person. Do you get it now? So for our opportunity for them to live, we know the way, we have them as friends, we know how they live outside there. So we know the cars they are driving, we know the cars they are taking out, we know how they live. So for them to live, I think there is much to it than just living. And also, I still want to make mention of this, because you see the issue of forex that we have, that whereby there is an increase in forex here and there. I mean, the increase in dollar and stuff. I hope this particular people does not have a relationship with those people that they are there. I mean, they are bookie people. Do you get it now? Just to make sure that the prices of this particular dollar goes up, because they know the in and out of the system.
And they have been there.
They have been there for a very long time. So they know, and the money they are getting from the forex is far than what they are giving them as a salary. So is even more than 100% of what they are giving them as a salary. So that is just these particular people. They have they know different way by which they get rich from this particular system. So I think it's good to have fresh people to come to the system. And this time around, they should make sure that they have a very seamless recruitment, and they have to make sure that they are objective enough to get in or to absorb in those people who are ready and willing to work, not to settle the politicians this time around.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adeleke,
yes,
for this. And just in the just 5 minutes in Yoruba.
Okay.
Kí ni ìdí tí àjọ CBN ṣe ń retire wọ́n lé àwọn èèyàn wọn bí ẹgbẹ̀rún kan ni wọ́n lé lọ báyìí?
Ẹ ṣé, mo dúpẹ́ atọ́kùn. Ṣé rí gọ́vnọ̀ ẹni tó jẹ́ olórí wọn ní CBN, ó ti jẹ́ kó yé wa wípé àwọn ò lé wọn, pé fúnra lára wọn ni wọ́n ṣetán láti lọ. torí ìdí kan sí kejì tí àwọn ṣe ní ilé iṣẹ́ àwọn, so wọ́n ń ṣe àtúntò ní ilé iṣẹ́ òun ni wọ́n ṣe, so kéèyàn dẹ̀ tó sọ yí pé òun ń lọ, so yóò ní àwọn ìdí pàtàkì kó tó sọ yí pé òun lọ, torí pé ẹni tí ó bá ṣiṣẹ́ nílé iṣẹ́ CBN kìí ṣe owó kékeré ní nírú ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó mọ̀ gbà, so bí ó sì jẹ́ sí pé owó kékeré yẹn ká tún wá ríyàn tó sọ yí pé òun ṣe tán àti lọ, so yóò ní àwọn ìdí. Lára àwọn ìdí tèmi lérò pé ó ṣeé ṣe kó fà á tí wọ́n fi ń lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ó ní pé tẹ́bárì ẹ̀ rí i pé ọ̀gbẹ́ni wa tí ó jẹ́ ọ̀gá ilé ìfowópamọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ Godwin Emefiele, so oríṣiríṣi ẹ̀sùn ni wọ́n fi ń kàn pé ó jí wòlú, ó jí okòwò tí ò ló ń kà, tí wọ́n sá ń kà tó kọ́lé lóríṣiríṣi tí ò níye, so á dẹ̀ rí i pé kò lè dá nǹkan yìí náà ṣe. Àwọn nǹkan náà ń bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n tiẹ̀ gbọ́ pé láìpẹ́ ìjọba CBN gangan àmì CBN wọ́n sáàkì àwọn dàrẹ́tọ̀ àwọn olórí wọn tí wọ́n ní àjọṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú Emefiele, wọ́n sáàkì wọn lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta pé kí wọ́n máa lọlé látàrí pé wọ́n jọ ní àjọṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú wọn, so ìyẹn náà kún àwọn nǹkan tí àwọn eléyìí náà fi ń bẹ̀rù pé mọ̀kànmọ̀kàn náà ni oyè mọ̀ nǹkan, ó mà ṣeé ṣe kó jẹ́ sí pé n tó kan onílé ó mà lè padà kàlejò, so làwọn náà fi ń wòye pé tí gómìnà ilé ìfowópamọ́ tó ìsún fi àǹfààní lẹ́lẹ̀ pé ẹni tó bá fẹ́ lọ o àǹfààní wà láti lọ, yóò sì gba gbogbo ẹ̀tọ́ tó yẹ kó gbà gẹ́gẹ́ bí òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba, so náà rí i pé kí n ti ń kàn lọ́tún ti ń kàn lọ́sì kó tó di pé ó kan àwọn náà, so káwọn náà tètè ṣe kéde o, káwọn náà tètè máa lọ, so alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ nìyẹn. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì, owó tí wọ́n fẹ́ fún wọn yìí náà kì í ṣe owó kékeré, àwọn míì ń bẹ nínú wọn tí wọ́n wòye pé mò ń jí láàárọ̀ mò ń wọlé lálẹ́, mò ń jí láàárọ̀ mò ń wọlé lálẹ́, owó yìí gan tí ń bá lọ fi dá iléeṣẹ́ tèmi gan lẹ̀lẹ̀ yóò ní tí ó máa mú wá fún mi ju kí n máa ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìjọba lọ, so àwọn kan náà ni wọ́n tún wà ní abala bẹ̀yẹn náà, so àwọn míì náà sì tún wà tó jẹ́ sí pé lára wọn bẹ̀yẹn náà tí wọ́n ń wòye pé ọdún táwọn ó lò sí i lásìkò sí i àti ó yẹ káwọn ó ti múùfù síwájú sí i láti bí ọdún bíi mélòó kan táwọn ò láǹfààní àti múùfù síwájú sí i, so táwọn ò bá gbowó iná ní ìsìn ṣé báwọn ó ṣe máa bá lọ náà ni, ó yẹ kí àwọn ti ní ìtẹ̀síwájú láti bí ọdún bíi 3, ọdún bíi 4, ọdún bíi 5, àwọn ò ní ìlọsíwájú kankan, àwọn sì wà lójú kan náà ni. Táwọn bá kúrò lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ yìí, táwọn bá lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ kàríà míì kò sí aburú ń bẹ̀ fáwọn, àgbà àwọn òrówó, àwọn ò máa fowó ṣe business, àwọn ò máa fowó ṣe kíni, àwọn ò tún bọ́ sí kàríà míì, àwọn ò tún máa ṣiṣẹ́ lọ, so pé bóyá gbòmíì táwọn bá tún bọ́ sí un ó lè ṣeé ṣe kí àwọn tún nílẹ̀ síwájú dáadáa ju ibi tí àwọn wà lọ, so oríṣiríṣi àwọn kankan ló lè fa sábàbí tí wọ́n fi lè fiṣẹ́ lẹ̀lẹ̀, ṣùgbọ́n ilé ìtẹ́mi ń rọ ìjọba òní wípé kí wọ́n ṣe é pẹ̀lú ìbẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run, kó má jẹ́ sí pé wọ́n kàn ṣe láti lé àwọn yìí kúrò ńbẹ̀ láti kó àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n wọlé, torí pé a rí pé àjọ olùfowópamọ́ ní àmì CBN wọn ò kí ń sábà fi síta pé àwọn fẹ́ gba àwọn èèyàn wọlé, so bí kò ṣe wípé ọ̀nà wọ́n fi ń ran wọn lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó bá jó lóṣèlú, ẹ rí i pé lẹ́tà ni wọ́n wà bóyá látọ̀dọ̀ presidency ni pé ó yẹ ẹgbọ́mọ̀ ìsíbẹ̀, tàbí látọ̀dọ̀ gọ́vnọ̀ kan ni ẹgbọ́mọ̀ ìsíbẹ̀, tàbí látọ̀dọ̀ sẹ́nétọ̀ kan ni ẹgbọ́mọ̀ ìsíbẹ̀, bóyá ó tiẹ̀ qualify láti wà ní irú ipò yẹn àbí ó tiẹ̀ qualify láti wà ń bẹ̀, so nígbà tí lẹ́tà ti wá látọ̀dọ̀ olórí kò sí nǹkan kan tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe yóò bọ̀ síbẹ̀ náà ni, so gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí ó wà níbẹ̀ nìyẹn fún ó ṣe pẹ̀lú pé yes àwọn fẹ́ fi jẹ́ kí ètò ẹrọ̀ ajé wa kó lọ sókè sí i, torí tó bá jásí pé tí wọ́n bá ní ẹ̀mí nìyẹn ọrọ̀ ajé wa yóò lọ sókè sí i, àwọn fresh people àwọn míì tuntun tí wọn ò tí ì jẹun yóò nǹkan kan tí wọn ò tí ì mọ nǹkan kan pé bọ́n ṣe ń kówó jẹ lọ títí nǹkan kan báwo tiẹ̀ bọ́ ṣe àdìs yóò tiẹ̀ tó àwọn àsìkò kan, so yóò lè ran àwùjọ tá a wà, yóò ran orílẹ̀-èdè náà lọ́wọ́ láti lè tún fókọ́sì pé tọ̀ ìlọsíwájú la fẹ́ fún orílẹ̀-èdè wa kì í ṣe pé kìíní, so ètèmi lérò ló ní pé kí wọ́n ṣe bó ṣe yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe é, kó má fi máa ṣẹ́tù àwọn olóṣèlú, àwọn tó yẹ kí wọ́n gbà síṣẹ́ kí wọ́n gbà wọ́n síṣẹ́ bó ṣe yẹ kí wọ́n gbà wọ́n síṣẹ́, kí wọ́n sì mọ̀ pé àwọn tí wọ́n gbà síṣẹ́ wọ́n táwọn tí wọ́n kájú ẹ̀ láti ṣe kíni o láti mójútó iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n gbà wọ́n fún ètò tí wọ́n gbà wọ́n fún.
Thank you very much, our guest this morning. You really explained why CBN laid off their staff, or take a voluntary resignation of the CBN staff. Thank you very much. He's a lecturer at the University of Ilesha, Department of Economics, isn't it?
Exactly.
Thank you, Mr. Nureni Olalekan
Yes,
Adeleke,
Yes,
for this message.
Thank you,
My
sir.
name is Olushola. See you tomorrow for another edition. A special thanks to our audio officer, the VTR, the MCR, and the cameraman. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, sir.